listen to this thing. He's still arguing.
Yo, this is crazy. Yo. It's a wrap. It's a wrap. It's a wrap. It's a wrap.
They did the business.
It's a wrap for you.
Tiffany Henyard. You know, I've done videos, maybe 2 or 3 on this channel about our sister girl Tiff in the past. And in those videos, I have talked about how she started out as a trustee, and then the residents of Dalton decided to make her their mayor. And it has been to their absolute detriment. And I brought up that since her being elected as the mayor of Dalton, Illinois, she has ran that city into the ground with her lavish spending and total and complete mismanagement of the taxpayers' dollars. She was spending money like it was growing on trees in the city of Dalton. She was completely unchecked and unhinged. She was running around that city buying minks and furs, spending thousands on hair, makeup, clothes, spending the taxpayers' dollars on diamonds for her damn dog. She was overly spending for a personal security detail, taking flights to Vegas and spending thousands on hotel rooms and restaurants. And then when she was confronted about it at several of the city council and board meetings, she would sit there and present her ass to kiss to all of the residents that questioned her morals and finance acumen, right? But she would then go back and forth with the different members of the board and the trustees, arguing them up and down and daring them to do something about it. Even reportedly going so far as to use the very own police and law enforcement of the city to harass business owners who had openly expressed their disapproval of her as mayor, and even extorting money for her campaign from business owners and firing anybody who didn't 100% back her on and her team, right? So she did the city of Dalton so dirty that by January of earlier this year, the trustees of Dalton were reporting that the city was headed towards bankruptcy due to Tiffany balling out with the taxpayers' dollars, and that the city had over $7 million worth of debt. She was so reckless with the spending and money management that over a dozen vehicles used by the law enforcement police department were at risk of being repossessed. This is how bad she was as a mayor. And in addition to that, in addition to her $50,000 a year salary as the mayor of Dalton, she was also masquerading as the township supervisor of Thornton Township, where she was making an exorbitant amount of money, somewhere in the range of $224,000. And mind you, she made it so that there would be a new ruling when she got in, that anyone who succeeded her position as the township supervisor would take a 90% pay cut, only making $22,400. And she obviously did this in order to discourage anyone else from running against her on the ballots. When I tell you that she was completely unhinged and unchecked, this is what the hell I'm talking about. But it appears as though the community of Thornton Township, at least, has finally had enough of Tiffany Henyard's ass. And they have spoken. What are you talking about? Well, let's get to it.
Breaking news tonight at 10. One of Tiffany Henyard's jobs is at risk. The embattled Thornton Township supervisor wanted to run for re-election, but after this rowdy caucus tonight, her name will not be on the ballot.
Our Jermont Terry has been following the South suburban political drama for years now. He is live with what happened and Henyard's emotional reaction. Jermont.
Come on, Jamont.
Erica and Joe, Tiffany Henyard likes to tell people, quote, "Let me educate you on how this works." Well, tonight you can say she was schooled on how the Democratic Caucus works right here in Thornton Township. You can also say that she flunked out because her name is not appearing on the ballot.
Oh, he been waiting to get
Folks
that
lined
off.
up early and in the cold for the Thornton Township Democratic Caucus. Everyone outside and those inside the auditorium were here to vote on who will be the Democratic nominees in the township, including the coveted supervisor position. And Tuesday night's caucus left the current supervisor, Tiffany Henyard, fuming.
You didn't run out of this the right way. Illegal. Napoleon.
That's Henyard pleading her case to committeeman State Senator Napoleon Harris. As a committeeman, Harris set the rules Tuesday night, the first caucus in Thornton Township in nearly 30 years.
The person who says this seems to be outdated, you say what to that?
People in Thornton Township may be new to caucuses because they haven't had them in a while, but this has been the tradition for many other townships around the state.
And those in this room came out to see.
Let me pause it right quick, just to explain really quickly what a caucus is, because listen, I am not all the way politically sound, okay? So some of the terms and stuff that they use, I gotta go look up. I have no problem learning new information and gaining new knowledge. Maybe some of you are already hip, quote unquote, to some of these terms, but I had to go do a little bit of research. So I had heard the term caucus before, right? But I really needed a definition, a solid definition on what exactly a caucus is. And let me explain to you what it is really, really quickly. So a caucus is a meeting or grouping of supporters or members of a specific political party or movement. The exact definition varies between different countries and political structures. But listen, the overarching definition here is that it's a group of people that have come together to decide or dictate or vote in who their nominees are for the upcoming elections, right? It's basically the people coming together to speak as one voice, one sound, one band, right? And they're basically saying we have come together because we recognize that we want to put into place and we want to make it publicly known who we are voting to put into place for these positions coming up in these elections. And when they do that, this sort of, I don't want to say it overrides the election, but it certainly puts into place certain people that are eligible to compete or to run in the upcoming elections. So that is what a caucus is, all right? Let's get back to it.
See if Henyard would get the nomination. An uphill battle for the controversy surrounding her administration. Henyard was not in favor of the caucus.
I will be suing everybody tomorrow. This is illegal.
This is illegal in your opinion?
Illegal.
Okay. So let's talk about it. I mean, your concern is you brought people in to pre-bus.
All the people outside, they let not one person in here.
Henyard used Thornton Township buses to transport supporters, mostly seniors. Yet many of the supporters did not get inside the packed auditorium of 600 people.
This is a process that's been going on way before me, and it's just I'm exercising my rights as the committeeman to hold a caucus.
And it is legal. When it was all said and done, the caucus voted, and Henyard did not get the nomination. Yet listen to who the caucus placed on the ballot.
The Democratic slate that would represent Thornton Township at the April 1st consolidated election reads as follows. For Supervisor, Napoleon Harris.
Henyard left emotional and upset knowing her name will not appear on the April ballot, to the pleasure of many in the room.
You out of a job. She out of a job.
I think it's very unfair that I don't get a chance to make the decision of who I want where.
And who did you want to vote for?
I wanted to vote for Tiffany.
She came late, and then she had an attitude because they couldn't get in.
Hey, she set her ass straight right then and there. She said she came late, first of all. She came late. Then she had an attitude because she couldn't get in. Well, you could have got in if you showed up on time. But it's just like Tiffany Henyard's people to show up late to some shit, right? Because it's not really that important. They probably only came because they were either threatened or because they related to her in some form or fashion, right? But the other lady need to shut her old ass up and said, I wanted to vote for Tiffany Henyard. Well, you should have brought your ass there on time and you could have put your little vote in. You could have written her in. So they still believe that there's a chance for Tiffany Henyard to secure her job. Tiffany Henyard thought that because she had put it into place that the next person that would follow her would lose 90% of their pay, 90% of the pay from $224,000 all the way down to just $22,400. She put that in place in order to discourage anyone from running against her for this position, and it did not work. Hilarious.
Can only become a write-in candidate, which her supporters say is not impossible.
So the people know her name to write her name in, and I believe we could still win it.
Now, to break it down, tonight's caucus was essentially the primary election, and other townships held their caucuses as well on this Tuesday. Now, since she did not win the nomination, Henyard cannot run as an independent, so her only option at this hour is a write-in candidate. Reporting live in Homewood tonight, I'm Dermot Terry, CBS News, Chicago. Joe and Erica.
You can best believe that they're going to try, okay, with all of their strength, with all of their might. You had best believe that they are going to try to write her in, okay? I don't know how that process works, but I'm assuming you have to have people actually show up and write her name in on the ballot as you would any other election. And the interesting thing is going to be how many people they actually get to show up that will stand in for Tiffany Henyard and say, yeah, we want her back as the supervisor of Thornton Township. But it appears as though, Thornton Township has gotten their shit together. And they're like, listen, we gave you a chance. You done fucked it up. You came in here, you ran amok, you was doing whatever you wanted to do. It's out of control. Our finance, you're not about to run Thornton Township into the ground like you've done Dalton. So hopefully going forward, Dalton residents see this and they decide, you know what? We made a mistake, but no more. Her reelection, she just announced, Tiffany Henyard just announced back in October, I believe it was, that she was running again for reelection. Hopefully, this is just the first of people getting Tiffany Henyard the hell up out of office in every form and fashion. She doesn't need a position anywhere. Get her up out of there, pack her up so that she can expeditiously get to her next job, which should be at the local McDonald's in the drive-through window. Working the drive-through window at McDonald's is where Tiffany Henyard should be. She can go there with her nails, with her hair, with the matted down hair up here that the girls like to be doing. She can go there. She can take her lashes there. Watch out for that grease. Don't let that grease fry your lashes up. Be careful. Make sure the fries is hot. I want my food on time. And I want my burger with cheese. All right? There's one more video here for us to watch before we check up out of here.
And tonight's decision was made within minutes, with Tiffany Henyard receiving a blow to her re-election efforts. A packed gym room at the Homewood Flossmoor Park District erupts in cheers as the Democratic Party caucus for Thornton Township decided to deny embattled current Township Supervisor Tiffany Henyard's name from being on the ballot in April. State Senator Napoleon Harris, now nominated as the Democratic challenger for that position.
So to hear the people tonight, you heard them express how wonderful it was to finally get rid of her.
It was the first time in 30 years that Township Democrats used a caucus to determine who will be on the ballot. Those seeking the nomination for Township Supervisor needed all 8 people for that slate, which includes Supervisor, Highway Director, Clerk, Assessor, and 4 trustees. Henyard did not have a certified assessor on her ticket, deeming her invalid for consideration. Current Thornton Township trustee Chris Gonzalez earning the Democratic nomination for a trustee spot under Harris's slate.
We want to get the township back on track, back to where we feel it should be.
Henyard was appointed Thornton Township Supervisor in 2022 and also serves as the mayor of Dalton. Tuesday night's decision comes as...
Look at this crowd. They showed up and showed out. The people made sure, this is how you come together and make sure that you get back control of your city. You take back control of the city. Look at this turnout. This place is packed. This place, they wanted to make sure that Tiffany Henyard did not even stand a chance of being re-elected as Thornton Township supervisor. They showed up, and this place is packed to wall to wall. Wall to wall.
As Henyard has faced criticism over township spending while also disputing with trustees.
What's currently going on, I'm disappointed. But what I'm looking for in the future is hope.
Yep, you got it. Get her up out of there. Pack your shit. Exit to the nearest exit stage left. Do not come back. Again, I want my cheese melted on my burger. Make sure that I have 2 sweet and sour sauces in the bag. I done ordered a 10-piece. Do not give me 1 sweet and sour sauce, Tiffany. I need both sauces in the bag. All right? I done ordered a 10-piece. That 10-piece, I should at least get 2 sweet and sours. Don't try to skimp me. Make sure my fries are lightly salted. And make sure it's not no grease on the bottom of the bag. I don't need it leaking on the chairs in my car. All right? Y'all let me know what y'all think about this down in the bottom in the comments. The people of at least Thornton Township have spoken. Hopefully the people of Dalton, Illinois speak next. And get her ass up out of there. I'll see y'all in the next one.